She's from Saskatchewan, and the most exciting thing for me is she's connected in a different level with me, and that is because she too is a carrier of 16p 11.2 microduplication syndrome. And she too is paving the way and making a difference. So let's welcome Jeanine. Hi, Jeanine.
Hi, Debbie. Thank you so much for having me. I'm very excited to be here and share with your viewers about what it's like to have been born with a brain that's differently wired.
Isn't that the truth? As soon as Jeanine and I started talking, oh my gosh, the excitement to actually find someone that's willing to step up with me that has the same genetic disorder, and it affects her whole family too, is just, it's almost like a gift come true for me. It's like the universe brought us together. So I'm super excited, and Jeanine is too. And we just wanted to share a little bit about how it has affected her and her family, because I know you've all heard how it affected my family. So Jeanine, tell us a little bit about how it's affected you and your family.
Well, I didn't know that I was born with this. I have two sons, and my youngest one had a lot of behavioral issues, a lot of sensory issues from birth, and I had ended up taking what I didn't know at the time was a very long diagnostic journey with him, and that led to genetic testing and an autism diagnosis, as well as ADHD, SPD, anxiety, and a whole other list of comorbidities that we have to keep in mind and watch for as he ages. He's still young, and I'm learning more about 16p and how it affects him to how it affects me. I didn't find out until a year and a half ago. And essentially, I've been on my own to be like Dr. Mom with my research PhD. I'm doing air quotes, but with one hand.
Awesome. Yeah.
Because I adopted the term.
Yeah.
And being a mumvicate for my children. When we did get the diagnosis of the 16p, I did the follow-up testing, which is an acronym of FISH, and it's just a big, long word summarized just by saying if we're going to find a familial connection on the maternal or paternal side, or a de novo connection, which is just a Russian roulette wheel, really.
That's right. Yeah.
And I found out that I'm the carrier of the duplication, and I went back in my family history, and we have a lot of neuro stuff. We have MS, we have brain tumors, we have ADHD, diagnosed and undiagnosed. We have ASD, same, undiagnosed and diagnosed. And there's a lot of anxiety, there's a lot of depression, and there's even, well, it's embarrassing to say, but we call it pancreatitis in my family, and it can be known as hoarding in some extreme cases. Yeah. And a lot of food sensitivities and sensory issues. And I felt like I've been an alien on this planet and also didn't quite fit in with my family. I'm the youngest of six, so all of my siblings are that much older, and it just seemed like it just wasn't my age. It's just something inside that I just knew. I felt different. I acted different. My brain was different. And back then I wasn't tested for autism. I wasn't tested for ADHD because it was the 70s, the 80s generation. So that always reflected badly on a parent. If your
Yes.
child didn't sit still and pay attention in class, then you must be doing something wrong. You
Yeah.
mustn't be feeding them properly. You mustn't be, making sure they have proper sleep hygiene
Yeah.
or, enough play dates to socialize them. I always was the parent.
Yeah.
And I grew up in a single parent home from 4 and onwards, and it impacted me in my life. I
Mhm.
have what's known to myself. I refer to it as an invisible disorder. You don't really become aware of it unless you do have that head for research or you're in that field, and you don't really notice that I am different, not less. I've learned that from
Yes.
Temple Grandin.
That's right. I met Temple Grandin too.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But you're so right.
I
You're
did a couple
equal.
years
We're
ago.
all equal. We're all equal. We all matter. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you don't really know until you ask me to give you directions to something. And I have something inside my brain that makes me reverse my right and my left.
Oh my gosh.
Do
I'm
you have
so
to?
I'm so directional with her. It's hilarious.
I call it directionally challenged.
Yes. Yes. Oh my God, that's so funny. Sorry. I'm
And
so glad I met you.
oh, me too, honey. Me too.
Okay.
And I'm also fluent in sarcasm,
Yeah.
but at the same time, I don't really understand jokes. I don't know if someone's like being mean or
Oh
or
my God.
they're joking.
Yeah. So you
And
just go, that was funny.
so yeah, I've been that person that laughs along with the joke who
Yeah.
totally doesn't get it. But my
That's me
husband will look at
too.
me and he'll say, "You don't get it, right?" And I'll say, "You're correct, but I don't need to let you know."
We
But
just wing it, right? We just wing it.
absolutely.
Yeah, okay. But
Like I say my name is like Jeanine, Corky Lebsack, because that's who I've always been.
yeah,
And
yeah,
that's who I've always been referred to as well. And
yeah,
in school, you go along to get along. So I did a lot of this masking
yeah,
in society, um,
yeah,
with my friends, in my classroom, with my teachers. And I didn't really start to feel comfortable in my own skin until I put all the pieces together. As I was on a diagnostic journey with my children, I
yeah,
found a lot of things that were affecting them,
yeah,
in their neurobiology had affected me. And I just thought that was my typical life. And I realize now it really was a lot
it's your
of growing
purpose.
up with the
Yeah,
16P.
yeah. It's our purpose.
I
It's
mean,
our
yes, I had
purpose
to
in
be
life.
44 years old to find out that I wasn't an alien. I just had different colors
Right.
of
Yeah,
brain wiring to my computer in my
that's
head.
right. Yeah, yeah. And you were saying that you have had vertigo?
Yes, when
Yeah.
I tend to get very stressed, I will feel a wave of vertigo come over me. And I've been to chiropractors and I've been to massage therapists, and really I didn't feel any relief from it until I started actually doing my own Reiki training and
Yes.
taking part in being a Reiki client. And it's made a huge difference because energetically we're all connected. And
Yes.
I feel like when there is a disconnect, you know, in our on our planet, in our environment, in society, energetically, with our government, it creates an imbalance. And for those that are more sensitive and more empathic in nature, we feel those disturbances. I call it disturbances in the force.
Yes. I think
And
so.
I will get this vertigo, you know, wash over me, and I've never been told it has anything to do with my physiology. I just believe I feel those energy currents that are
Yeah.
not flowing on the right path.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I think, you know, like, well, I've been saying I'm healing myself so with this group and meeting you and, you know, like, I think when we change our thoughts in our mind, we become well. We become there's no more illness. I'm not doing research on 16p anymore. I've done enough of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm keeping
Mm-hmm.
my energy positive and I'm keeping good thoughts all the time. So, and I want to help. I want to help others. I want to be, you know, someone is like, wow, this is great. I can do this too. You know, I'm suffering with cancer, but I'm going to have positive thoughts instead of worry, fear, anxiety, you know, and then slowly dying because you're wrapped up in that cycle of despair and, you know, losing hope and stuff. So,
I agree. I believe that our cells eavesdrop on our thoughts and our
yes,
feelings and our reactions,
yeah,
and we become what we say.
yes,
So, if we want to be positive and affirming and live in the now and be mindful
yeah,
of what we say and of what we do in life,
yeah,
then our bodies will react accordingly. But
yes.
if we're not, we're going to become diseased because our bodies and our thoughts are at a dis-ease.
Wow, you and me, we are so connected. It's crazy. Yep, yep, yep.
Sisters.
We are soul sisters for sure. Now, Jeanine, the other thing you were saying is your oldest hasn't been tested. Is that something that you're looking at doing?
Yes, he's older, and I have given him the choice about when he wants to be tested.
Mm-hmm.
I I have implored him to think about it and to think about what it would be like to know now at his age, or to wake up at 44 years old and realize why you didn't fit in on the planet.
Right, right,
So
right.
I have given him that freedom of choice, but at the same time, on a diagnostic level, I want him to be aware if
Yes,
this is something that does affect him. There isn't a cure for the 16p, but there are a lot of things that you can do to help ease symptomatic behaviors.
that's right. Absolutely. And um, you were saying that you were having some problems getting the genetic testing. Can you say a little bit more about that?
Yes, I moved from Alberta to Saskatchewan, and there was one geneticist in the whole province. And I was quite shocked by that, because we had gone through the Alberta Children's Hospital, and that is where my youngest son and myself got tested and had the results even before we moved.
Mm-hmm.
And I've put in referrals with family doctor, um, psychiatrist, pediatrician, and I'm still waiting.
Okay, well, I can tell you that this video is going to go straight on to the 16P website, and hopefully Simons will get in touch with you and agree to helping your family get
That
that.
would be wonderful.
Yeah.
I've been associated with them, signed up on their website and everything for the last year, and I'm supposed to be getting contacted by one of their geneticists actually next week. And it's amazing to me how fast the ball has rolled in a research basis rather than just waiting in the medical field for someone to reach out and connect. I mean, I never even received genetic counseling after finding out that I
Mhm.
was born with the 16P and I passed that on to my child. I mean, there's a certain level of shock and disgust at
Mhm.
myself,
Mhm.
and really took a beating on my self-esteem and my self-worth. When
Yeah.
you're the carrier of a rare genetic disorder,
And you've
well, I've been
passed
living
it,
with it all my life.
and you've passed it to your beautiful children as well, right? There
Yes.
is that guilt there, and I I think that's one of the things that crushed my heart when I found out that I was the carrier of this disorder as well. Um,
Yes.
but I am slowly learning to embrace our disorder as a gift, and I think you are too. And we're both
Yes.
realizing that we're special. We're special, and we were meant for pain and suffering in our lives, and it's made us stronger. It's made us warriors, and and you and I are going to make a difference for autism together, because we're going to make all of those autistic, beautiful, powerful minds rise and shine instead of being shamed and and embarrassed and feeling unloved, feeling like they don't belong. We're gonna empower them to be the creators, right?
Yes, I love that. I
Yeah.
mean, for my son's diagnostic journey, um, his autism was a lot different than a lot of the textbooks.
Mm-hmm.
And according to the DSM-5
Yeah.
manual, it was a lot different. He made eye contact. I worked very hard, as we did as a family, to get him to become verbal
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
toilet trained and,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, being able to function in preschool classroom.
Yeah.
But I mean, I was handed a genetic report, and then I'm trying to read and decipher it. Well, I'm not a geneticist.
Yeah. 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 It's crazy.
I'm not a doctor,
Yeah.
but I sure began to think like one. You
Yeah.
know,
Me too. It's like
let me loose,
yeah,
let me loose on the internet.
yeah. You're a researcher just like me. You're
Yes,
unstoppable too, just like me.
yes.
And yeah, it's I see all good coming out of this, our relationship. I see amazing things happening. Yeah.
Me too, Deb. Me too.
Yeah.
I feel very comfortable with you, and I've been like, oh, I don't want to say a stalker, but maybe a creeper. And I had seen you on the 16P group, and I was like, oh, she's Canadian like me. Oh, she's blonde like me. Oh, she has blue eyes like me.
There you go. Yeah.
And we both are carriers of the duplication. Oh my gosh. Like, if there's anyone I'm supposed to meet in
Connect.
person or e-meet now,
Yeah.
I mean, it was you. It was like the universe just opened up and said, here you are, here's your gift. So
Yeah.
I thank you for putting a name and a voice and your presence behind mental health and mental health stigmas. is
Yes.
I truly support and believe in the Bell Let's Talk campaign,
Yeah.
but I live the campaign every day of my life, not just one day, every day of my life.
Yeah. It's a struggle.
It is.
I know.
I've grown up feeling ashamed,
Yeah.
not because that was imposed on me from my family or my parents. We just didn't talk about stuff like that.
Yeah.
That was hush hushed and
Yeah.
behind closed doors.
Yeah. Embarrassed, shame, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know. I hear you. Yeah. Loud and clear, I hear you. And I
Yeah.
get it. I get it. And it, like I say, it's time for us to fight back, and we're fighting from a place of our heart, which is love. It's there's nothing in it for any of us other than to share our powerful message that mental illness is misunderstood. There's
Yes.
ignorance around it in all societies in the world, and we all have beautiful, powerful minds, and we're all born to be alive, and we all matter.
You
We
know where I think they get that the most?
Yeah.
Silicon Valley and NASA.
Yeah.
I had the fortunate experience to meet and hear Temple Grandin speak
Hmm.
through an Autism Calgary event.
Yeah.
And she spoke about NASA, and she showed the slides in her presentation, NASA studying her brain.
Oh wow.
So she put that up on the screen, and she said, this is my brain, and this is what a neurotypical brain would look like. And I
Mhm.
believe it was somebody that, was representing that through NASA.
Yeah.
Then you could see certain areas of her brain in her hippocampus that were highlighted
Yeah. Lit
compared
up.
to another, brain beside her. And she said, yeah, if you know that, she said that book, Where's Waldo? You
Oh
know,
yeah. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then she's like, yeah, you go into NASA and you're around all these brilliant, intelligent, amazing minds and people. And she said, it's Spot the Aspie. Well,
That's us.
I have kept that with me ever since I heard her say that. And I said, that's what it is. That's what it is. Because it's organizations like NASA and Silicon Valley and that have a tremendous impact on our planet,
Yes. Yeah.
because they're the brains that are going to change the world for the better.
I'm sure you've seen this. I say we're the doers, the movers, the shakers, the creators, the builders, the dreamers, and the visionaries. Because we're
Absolutely.
determined. We're determined. We're unstoppable. Our minds do not stop.
No, even when I'm sleeping, I'm dreaming about symbols,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
patterns, and
Pattern.
seeing
Oh,
things a different way than other people do.
yeah.
It's so wonderful for me to connect with you, but also connect with your 16P brain.
I know, right? I know. You get me like so good, and we just met, so
Yes.
it's exciting. Okay, so the other thing I want to talk before we end this is you were saying that you wanted to share some information that you've been invited some to.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
I recently had this amazing experience happen where an organization, Canadian Autism Partnership, they have opened up their doors to families that have living with autism, people that have autism, and they had something online, and I ended up writing a little essay. And what I was speaking mostly about was the complexity of autism.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, my son has been diagnosed now for, I guess this is the 4th year.
Mm-hmm.
And we've all gone through a learning curve with him as a family.
Mm-hmm.
And
I know what that's like.
it's been a wild roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes that, that crazy train's gone off the track and it's gotten back on. And
I
and
know.
I don't
Yep.
say crazy as
No, I know. I get it. Hey, I
a
live
flippant
it.
term, but I'm
Yeah.
like, you don't know crazy until you wake up with my brain. But for some that may be offended by that,
Oh no, no. We're allowed because
I
it's
can retract
true.
it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
So as part of this wild adventure, I wanted to win a ticket to go to the partnership summit. And what I ended up being presented with was not only a complimentary ticket, but an invitation to attend and be part of a panel
that's
about the
awesome.
complexity of autism.
Yeah.
And I want to give a voice to the genetic disorders that are out there, that
Yes.
are associated with autism diagnoses,
Yeah.
and for the rare genetic disorders. I
Yeah.
mean, there used to be maybe 25 genes that were associated with an autism.
Yeah.
And the latest report, there's over 160.
Yeah.
And that blows my mind as we see more people being diagnosed and more research organizations reaching out to families to engage with them
Yeah.
in a partnership.
Yes.
And to know that I will be in Ottawa on World Autism Day, speaking from my heart about what it's like to have this lived experience
And
and
the
living
disorder. Yeah.
this disorder experience in my life,
Yeah.
and how that's changed me as a human being. And I've gone from guilt and remorse for passing this on to my beautiful son
Mm-hmm.
to excitement and acceptance that this is the way I was meant to be.
Yes. 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 I
And
love
so
you so
I'm
much.
thankful to God,
Yeah.
because really,
It's been an
if
emotional roller
I was
coaster.
strong enough,
Yeah.
then I wouldn't be talking with you here today about it.
I know. And you know what? It has been an emotional roller coaster ride. And I don't know why it took us so long to figure it out, because we did have to go through a lot of pain and suffering. Are we still, right?
Yes.
But I have no fear of my disorder anymore. I have no fear of the unknown, because where I've reached is when I finally get my wings, whenever that will be, and I'm telling myself I'm going to live to 100 years old. But when I do get my wings, I'm going to be surrounded by universal love. And I love myself for who I am. And I love my disorder because, like you say, it's who we are meant to be. We're being true to ourselves. No more shame, no more blame, no more guilt, no more embarrassment. We are beautiful beings born to be alive and not fearful of when we're going to die. Do you know what I mean?
I do.
And I think that's powerful.
It is. It is a gift to be comfortable in your own skin.
Yes, yes,
No
exactly.
hate, blame, or shame
No,
can corrupt you if
that's
you are
right.
comfortable in your own skin. And there's too many people in this world today
Yeah.
that are uncomfortable in their own skin.
Yes,
And I
exactly.
believe you and I are shining a bright light of love and acceptance and
We
awareness.
are, sister. Yes. Yes, indeed. It's awesome. Okay, well, I don't know how long we've been, but I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much, and we are going to connect. And I will share this video once I put it all together, and you will be able to share it with all of your worlds. And I will be putting it on 16p, and your son will get the testing that you would like him to have. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Love you.
Love you too.